Now batteries can't replace diesel, but new technologies with ammonia are emerging, and big money is pouring into the startups at the helm. For over 100 years, General Motors, popularly known as GM in the US, has been at the forefront of the automotive revolution and has not slowed down. We have also made a number of personnel decisions. Some of these were tough calls. I'm sure you can appreciate this, with another groundbreaking invention. GM unveils one of its most powerful engines ever. Even industry veterans are still in shock at the performance of this engine. What kind of engine is this that sends shockwaves through the automotive industry? That is what we want to find out in this video, so keep watching. There is a whole range of absolutely brilliant crate engines available. While many are fairly sensible, some are absolutely not. This can be due to their sheer power, as some crate engines boast seriously crazy numbers. There are also crate motors on the market that are noteworthy for their huge size. Let's see how some of them compare with the ZZ632. As impressive as 1,000 horsepower is, the ZZ632 1,000ths isn't the first time a crate engine has featured such potent power. The famous Elephant debuted back in 2019, with specifications claiming 1,100 horsepower. The difference with the ZZ632 1,000ths is that it can generate 4-digit horsepower figures without a supercharger. This naturally aspirated crate engine offers some distinct advantages compared to competitors with forced induction systems. Naturally, aspirated engines have a less complex and more maintenance-friendly design, as they do not require extra supercharging components. The absence of a supercharger also means the engine is lighter, with a shipping weight of 740 pounds, while the smaller 6.2L Hellcat Hemi weighs just over 870 pounds. Additionally, you'll enjoy engine sounds that are not reduced or altered by the natural whine of forced induction. The ZZ632 SL1000 offers incredible performance without a supercharger, and is thus one of the most powerful naturally aspirated engines ever produced. The ZZ632 crate engine helps keep General Motors on top in the horsepower war between the big three, with 1,004 horsepower and 876 pound-feet of torque. The Elephant makes 1,000 horsepower but has more torque, boasting 950 pound-feet. However, the ZZ632 outright beats Chrysler's smaller Hemi crate motor, which makes 707 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. Only the Don Schumacher racing version of the 426 cubic inch Hemi crate engine surpasses it, with 1,150 peak horsepower and 974 pound-feet of torque. In the Ford universe, the 5.2-liter supercharged Predator V8 crate engine produces 760 horsepower and 675 pound-feet of torque. Edelbrock also sells a supercharged crate engine version of the 5-liter Coyote with 785 horsepower and 660 pound-feet of torque. But the main rival from Ford for the ZZ632 is the Godzilla. While Ford's standard naturally aspirated 7.3-liter Godzilla is good for 430 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque, the custom crate engine supercharged version pumps out 1,000 horsepower. Another close rival is the Schaffer Off-Racing 615, which is one of the most insane engines for the drag racing scene. The 650 is possibly one of the wildest creations you can get from them. However, its displacement capacity is 10.1 liters compared to the 10.4 liters of the ZZ632 SL1000. It is also capable of 925 plus horsepower. A similarity between them is that this massive engine is definitely only suitable for the drag strip. Having discussed the specs and how well it performs, there is one more thing to know. How much does this innovation cost? Let's find out. Pricing and availability. Well, this monster engine doesn't exactly come cheap. Unfortunately, if you decide to order a ZZ632 SL1000 crate engine, you'll discover that it costs more than many cars and may be out of stock. Chevrolet initially listed it with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $37,700.58, a significant increase from the discontinued 755 LT5 V8, which cost around $18,000. The ZZ632 is also more expensive than the Elephant crate engine, which is priced at $37,500. For context, according to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a car in March 2023 was $48,600. Granted, custom builds involve various cost factors, but the ZZ632 SL1000 engine alone takes up almost 80% of the total cost of the average car. The ZZ632 big block V8 costs about the same as other 1,000 horsepower crate engines, such as custom crate engines 7.3-liter Godzilla, which costs $34,999, and Don Schumacher Racing's 426 Hemi, which costs $37,900. For most people, this would mean spending more on the engine than on the entire car set for restoration. Is it worth it? Well, of course it is. It's not every day you get to put 1,004 horsepower and 876 pound-feet of torque into your ride. But many will need to blow their savings or even consider more affordable options if they're on a limited budget. The previously mentioned Chevrolet ZZ572 crate engine may be an excellent alternative for you. Yes, the power output is lower than that of the Chevrolet ZZ632, but you'll still get some serious specs for a lower price. However, don't expect too much of a price decrease for that. You'll have to compromise on power output. Another thing to consider is availability. People have had some trouble getting a hold of General Motors' new crate engine monster. Many online platforms have the engine back-ordered or listed as limited availability. The lack of supply is likely due to the hand-built nature of the production process. The iron engine blocks are US made and then handed to a seasoned specialist with a specific serial designation. While more time-intensive, this method of production ensures higher quality engines leave the factory. Initially, when Chevy announced the ZZ632, they stated that there would be no production limit, as there is with most crate engines. The automaker also mentioned that they would keep stock rather than build the crate engine to order. General Motors has been planning to switch to exclusively offering electric vehicles by 2035. It even discontinued its 755 horsepower LT5 crate engine derived from the Corvette C7 ZR1 in 2021 after just a year of service. Many enthusiasts desiring enormous power thought this was the end for General Motors crate engines. However, GM is keeping the internal combustion engine alive and well in crate engine form via Chevrolet. Prior to the ZZ632, General Motors was dominating with a variety of powerful engines. One of them is the ZZ572, also known as the King of Rats. If you've never heard of the Chevrolet Performance ZZ572 720R Deluxe crate engine, now is the time to learn more about it and consider using it in one of your applications or large restoration projects. Chevrolet dubbed the ZZ572 720R Deluxe crate engine the ultimate beast, and for good reason. The Performance ZZ572 engine is essentially a race engine producing 727 horsepower and 680 pound-feet of torque. With this power output, the King of Rats was the most powerful big block crate engine ever offered by GM Performance Parts. As the name implies, General Motors also had the LSX 454R engine, which, while powerful, was designed with durability in mind, as the designers envisaged it would be used in drag racing. However, the beastly power was a fortunate consequence of the development process. This 13.1-to-1 naturally aspirated single dominator-fed big-inch LS engine produces 770 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute and 612 pound-feet of torque at 5,600 revolutions per minute. General Motors engineers kept the engine speed at 7,100 revolutions per minute and the camshaft lift below the 0.750-inch threshold. They used an electric dynamometer to simulate quarter-mile racing to validate the engine's dependability. They worked out the specifications for a race car that would run mid-9-second elapsed times with a power glide-style 2-speed transmission, starting with an idle and ramping up power to a 2-second wide-open throttle hold, with a simulated transmission brake at 4,500 revolutions per minute. The simulation was very close to a real event. Which of GM's engines are you fascinated with the most? Let's hear in the comment section below. Do well to like this video and subscribe to this channel to get notified whenever we drop inspiring content like this. Thank you for watching, and check